I'm actually going through a sort of a research background, to be very frank.
Mm-hmm.
So I have few publications, and which is basically old,
Mm-hmm.
but as I was basically researching on this, so I thought of like, because I have a research mindset, I thought, okay, I can publish one or two papers based on the work I've done
Mm-hmm.
so far.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I think the challenging will be to get the citations right and getting it published in a decent amount of time, right? To get the process started. So that's where I started getting interested in your program. So how your like two distinguished program, like you have Ultimate and the VIP ones, right? And so even though I have, let's say, in 6 months down the line, I have two publications done in a reputed journals, which is iffy right now, but I have submitted one at least. Uh, then how your program will help me to get to the stage where I need to get my green card?
You just mentioned how you probably touched one criteria, right? And then you
Yeah,
mentioned the citations
yeah,
word there. That's a lot of people get stuck with that word. Generally speaking, right? Like unless you are
yeah,
going for the EB1B, which is for researcher, we don't do the EB1B. We just do EB1A. Like I got the EB1A myself, and I don't consider myself as an expert in like any other sort of
yeah.
EB1s.
So
Purely
yeah,
EB1.
just to add on that one, I have editorial board membership too. So which is basically I'm reviewing papers. So judging and this criteria, I should be able to meet.
Yeah.
Uh, okay.
Citations, people generally use it so to prove to take their authorships into the original contribution realm, right? So then you are kind of hitting two birds with one stone, because you have then original contributions that you're also talking about. But generally speaking, people in the industry, and if you are working on a research kind of background area in the industry, you are probably an exception. Most people in the industry work in non-research kind of backgrounds, and they also end up getting EB1A after publishing papers.
Yeah.
And people who do not work in like core research, they can also write papers. They just don't have enough surface area to get citations. But citations are evidence of your work actually being used by someone else to further build on it, right?
Mhm.
So technically we use some other means for it. Like if you write something that's useful to people in general in the field, and then they use it in order to for implement certain things at their workplace, then in a way it's a practical sort of manifestation of a citation, right? Because they've used your work to further benefit
Yeah.
from. That's more for the other folks on the call who might be getting freaking out with the word citations. But anyway, since you brought this up, as far as papers are concerned, we generally are a little more intense. We There are publications that obviously take like 6, 8, 10 months to review and then go back and forth and then publish. We do go after those, but we have a very weighted or a careful proportion that we go after, because if you go after every publication we make our clients do, if we go after such publications, then it's never getting done. It'll take
Yeah.
like 2.5, 3 years. So we don't go aggressively after those, but we look at a good balanced approach, enough to showcase that you have truly risen into the top of the field, right? So that's about the paper. And it's good that you are part of editorial board memberships and all. You might already know what you are doing there, so I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to look at the other criterias. So press is one place where, like I said, our team involves in the most, because that is also ethically appropriate for us to involve more hands-on in that, because we are not doing your homework for you, right? Like it is,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong in you getting like a PR expert to do PR for you. People
Yeah.
do it all the time.
Yeah.
So that's where we involve the most. And self-explanatory, that's the press criteria. Talking about critical role, whatever role that you play in your workplace, we dive deeper into it, and we try to understand what are the different angles in the work that you do itself that can represent itself in cross-functionally, right? Like in the press that we help you get, in the publications that you push out, etc. We look the way we and this is sort of partially answering the second
Yeah.
question that we got as well. We don't look at, when you join the program, we don't look at your starting point in your journey as that date. We look at all your past history of the work that you've done, and then kind of try to establish a story from however far back that we possibly can. And it could be in the form of recommendation letters, or it could be in a much more primary form than just opinion recommendation letters. Whatever it is, it's a more nuanced question there. But we go back and try to establish it from the past, and of course, the future 6 to 10, 12 months, which we have way more control over.